out over the ball, they're fielding through the ball, and their eyes are behind it, and they're getting that arm. One with their glove down, same thing, fielding through the ball. Guys back. If you notice on the back, we're getting here, eyes behind the ball, now we're ready to go into a throwing position. All right, go ahead and go. Well, then our college coaches talk, and I always go to the infield guys when I see the infield coaches speaking, and every one of them talk about it and then go. So they're working around it, getting to it, shuffling, and they follow this throw. And we'll be spread out a lot further. You see them get the ball, and they want to go here. We want them going there.
Hey, talk about
Throw from the clock. Get used to those different angles.
because you're going to bobble it too.
Yeah.
When you bobble it,
So,
Right, he talked earlier about momentum, right? I'm a big, when we're talking about playing defense, right, we field the ball, not with our glove, but with our feet, right? If we can move our feet and we can get in the right spot, we're going to be 1,000% better than the kids that just stand here and wait for the ball to come, and then I stay up, and then I throw. Okay, so what we're doing is I'll have them start just slightly on the right side of the bucket, and I will make them work around the bucket to create momentum to throw across the diamond. So you'll see Max come up, he'll work around the bucket, I'll feed him a short hop. One thing Max didn't do right there is after he picks it, I really want to work on shuffle, act like I'm throwing, flip back to me, to the end of the line. And what we can do, and what you guys can do in a practice, is you can go have multiple coaches, multiple different lines, all of you guys doing this at the same time, and it works quick. We're going from coach to coach to coach. Good beat, shuffle, back to me.
and again, he's catching the ball out front on a short hop.
Shuffle through.
And then over here, on the four corners, we're working on different flips. Hey, go back the other way. Go back the other way. So if you watch them flip it, they're clearing their glove, all right? And when they flip it, they're continuing on. We want the ball as quickly as I can see it. I don't want to hit the other side. So he's clearing his glove, putting something on it. Goes to first base, we cross this way, cross, and this way, me being left-handed. So we did the short hops with the flips earlier, so a lot of times we will focus on, let's go forehands. So even if it's just a simple throw, and then they can go back and forth with each other. So if you've got four guys, they'll go 2 and 2. Forehands, backhands, so yeah, good, backhands. And then obviously with the older guys, you can get even into a fungo and hitting it at them, getting it a little hard to throw across the diamond.
because if he throws it, if we're like this, and he throws it high, we can't jump. So we got to get down here to where we can be able to elevate and catch that ball. So we kind of get down lower in case we can go left, right, but we got to go up too. So make sure you squat.
Then he goes to get a baseball. But what we find, especially when guys come up, is they want to stand here and they just want to turn and they don't go anywhere. We got to go somewhere first. Or if they don't do that, they come forward and they go back. So when we get guys doing that, we start modifying things. And we will do a back step first, this way, and then go. And so what happens is he gained all that ground. So like the guy that goes this way and wants to come, well, he doesn't go anywhere. If he does that, we make him go this way, and then now that first 2 steps, he's actually gained a lot of ground. So those are one of the things we do. We just watch him, and it's not in his line of target. Like if he's coming to second base, he's coming forward towards second base. If he's got to throw to third, he's got his body moving that way. He's always just, get behind the baseball, come forward. And then one thing I tell them, they're here so they can catch a baseball, right? I'm not worried about them catching a baseball, but I still tell them you need 2 hands. Why do
This is, Coach Line loves it. Get your kids to love it because they're going to do it when they get to us. It's straight line mechanics. So you can go off this line or this line here, that's fine. So what they'll do is they'll just go through their mechanics just dry. They don't even need a ball, they don't need anything. And they're just going to go through their mechanics, right? And they're just trying to stay somewhat on this line, If they're here, not a big deal. If they're here, not a huge deal. But the big thing that we see is guys getting out here and kind of yanking balls, and then some guys will kind of close off and they end up throwing across their body. So that's kind of a big check for us, I think, mechanically. So that's probably the first thing that I would maybe have them do. A big thing with the front side, so in some of the clinics and camps that I've been a part of with, some of your guys' athletes, The biggest thing that I see with the front side, so go ahead and just kind of get into a position kind of at landing. The two things with the front side here are going to be young kids will pull off, right? So they tend to like over rotate here, or they just get really lazy with it and they just kind of let it drag. That's going to cause them to either push or pull the baseball. So I heard this one time, I think at a clinic, I think from a guy from LSU or something, but he basically said the baseball will always tell you what your body's doing. So if you see, if you got a pitcher up there and he's throwing 3 fastballs in a row and he's constantly just like yanking it to, we call it like the glove side, so the glove side of the plate for us, so like into the left-hander's batter's box. It's probably because he's really weak with his front side, and when he's coming through, he's kind of over-rotating sometimes, and he's yanking that down. And so that's a big thing for us. We're not real picky on what the front side does in the sense of bin is closed. Some guys are open, like if you watch like Garrett Cole, he's like a big open guy. Some guys say open and open, and some guys just like it tight and closed. I don't. It's not a big deal breaker for me. Whatever's comfortable, as long as they kind of get that front side up and they have a strong front side. The second thing that I would look for if I were you guys, and this is, I guess maybe a little bit for the older guys, is we don't teach our guys to pull their gloves. So when they do get in your kind of your landing position, when guys pull their glove here, what that does is it causes a little bit of early over rotation, kind of up top, and we want to delay rotation with the shoulders as late as possible. We want to generate our force from the ground, so and rotate kind of through our hips. So a cue that we kind of talk to our guys about is going to get your glove, right? So when Ben's out front here, we always say, go get your glove, right? He'll take his chest to his glove rather than pulling to inside of his body. Okay, those are 2 big things for us. You'll see a lot of lazy backsides with the legs. So what we'll do sometimes, we don't see it too much really at the varsity level, but sometimes with the freshmen, you'll see really lazy backsides. So as they throw, they just don't really use their back leg. So a real simple fix is just throwing, if they're a little bit smaller, a bucket or something that it forces them to get their back leg over. Older guys can use a chair, whatever that may be, but getting the backside through is something that we always that we're going to talk about a lot in our bullpen. So, all right, command. This is a big one for me, but I'm obsessed with throwing strikes, and I hate walks more than anything. So, we talk about that a lot. So, command is huge for us. This is the biggest pillar for us. If you can't throw strikes, you're not going to pitch for us. Plain and simple. The fastest way to sit on the bench is walk someone. It doesn't happen. So. I pulled Ben up today because Ben has seen a lot of success kind of with this drill and kind of what we do. So it's kind of a cue. We really focus on our shoulders here. I think that's the easiest way to look at it. So Ben is kind of a guy, no offense, Ben, he kind of struggled with some command early in his career. This year he's taken just massive strides, and this is the drill that we use to work on it. So the cue was, our front shoulder gets us to it and our back shoulder gets us through it, right? So we worked on this on the side one day before a bullpen. He was going to throw a bullpen. His partner was throwing. I said, "Man, let's just go play a little catch, and let's focus on your shoulders, right?" So it's exactly what it sounds, right? Our front shoulder will just run us right into the target, and then our back shoulder should be in line with that target as we go. So if Ben were to run through that, I mean, obviously we don't have a target set up, but if Ben were to run through that. A check that you guys can do is, if I should be able to put a broomstick or a PVC pipe or whatever that may be, and hit that will be in line with his target. That is the easiest fix to command.
50-50. You'll see he is not going to engage his legs. He's not going to do a big old move right here. We're lowering the effort level. Go ahead. We're lowering the effort level when we're going top and bottom hand to focus on barrel consistency. If you can consistently barrel balls up at like 30% effort, let's go up a little bit. Let's work up to 40%. Let's work up to 50% until we are challenging ourselves. So that would be his bottom hand. Let's go top hand now. So I'm big on when we go top hand, bottom hand stuff and 50-50 is being able to put on the brakes and stop, because that focuses on being able to stay through the zone long. So you'll watch Adam here. He'll get to his 50-50 launch position here, and he'll stick his finish. Go ahead. can see him sticking his finish, and his palm is facing up in the air. We always talk about trying to stay palm up, palm down, as long as we possibly can. The second that top hand over rotates, now we just roll over the third baseman, right? And I'm sure you guys see that all the time. And honestly, like we still see it here. A lot of these guys struggle with rolling over. Hirsch, what are you laughing at? Here, and I'll go side toss to him. Then I'll have an L screen, and I'll angle toss to him off the L screen. So if there's an L screen right behind me, I'll do it at an angle. So it helps him focus on staying through the middle. And we can also do it straight up. So all these drills can be worked in off the tee, off side toss, off ankle toss, and off. So at this position, right, he's already loaded. He's gotten rid of all the slack out of his swing. And when I snap my fingers, right, he can go quick. He doesn't have to load again. I'll really focus on getting these guys to use the ground, getting rid of all the slack in their swing. So I'll go ahead. He'll get to here, 50-50, stop and go. See how quickly he can get his barrel through his 50-50 spot. He'll split his hands and he'll go. And you'll see, he'll finish palm up, palm down. And really it's just like, I give the example of a lot of these guys played hockey and gym. A lot of the little ones that I hit with is rapid fire. Okay, a lot of you guys struggle and your kids struggle with being able to balance, right? Have good balance, use the ground. There's no better way to do it than rapid fire, in my opinion. So what I'll do, get rid of the tee. So I'll take 3 or 4 balls, and I'll tell Adam, like, we're just going quick. We're going as quick as we can, but it forces him to stay on balance to be able to get to the next swing. So let's go 3 of them, okay? So we'll go 3, he'll get back, get back.
All right, and so theoretically, we're just warming up, all right? Jack's having a tough day today, but that's all right. We've got to get it going here. That's why it's a warm-up. So they're just going to pass the ball back and forth to each other. So this kind of gets them started, all right? They can catch from a one-knee position. If they catch in different spots, if they catch with one knee down, they catch with 2 feet up. Jackson's kind of moving across into some of these different positions, right? The one knee down thing, we can talk about that all day. I've kind of changed my philosophy as time has moved on and kind of evolved with that because that's a popular thing for guys to do. But this is just a warm-up drill that 2 guys can do. So if you've got a couple of kids, like 4 guys maybe, right, that you can just take them. What Jack is going to do, he's going to feed Jackson, and he's going to work around the clock, basically. Go ahead. So he's going to try as best he can to work all the positions. So he's going to work his way all the way around the clock from low to high, or high to low. And we're just going to try to work on our receiving position. Go ahead, keep going. So our main philosophy is we're trying to get our thumb underneath the ball. That is the number one thing that we want to do. If we can get our thumb underneath the ball, then we can control the baseball and not get pulled out of the strike zone. So we can talk a little bit more about receiving and umpires and all that. Angle, and I'm going to throw this pitch. Why don't you face that way? Face coach. Yeah. So I'm going to come at him at about a 45-degree angle here, and I'm going to throw this pitch off the plate to the outside corner. He's going to try to work his glove around the ball. Go ahead. All right, around the ball and cut that off before it gets off home plate. So if home plate's here, we don't want him to catch this thing and let it pull him off, right? So he's going to try to get his web around the ball. And then we can do that the same way with the inside pitch. So he's got to now pop his elbow out and then kind of work his thumb underneath the baseball going that direction, okay? So this is what we call angle frames. All right, thank you. Okay. So it looks just like this. Okay. So the cue that we try to give guys when they work up through the baseball, we're going to try to get them to stop their glove gun, stop their glove right at the top of their shin guard. You guys have probably seen major league catchers, college catchers who have a lot of hand movement when they. So static blocks will start just working on form, right? Go ahead and start your glove on the ground. Glove on the ground. Yep. So we will just work this, okay? So your younger guys, what you're looking for is some good angle with his chest, right? It doesn't have to be all the way on the ground, but we just want to be in a situation where this ball is going to pop off and land softly in front of us, okay? I know I've heard it be with his glove up, where he now has to start incorporating parts of the block into his motion, right? So as he reads it, he'll turn his glove over, he'll get athletic position here, right? You guys see that he's got a little bit of lean with his chest, and he's into his hips, kind of like he's gonna do a squat, okay? And so as we throw this ball, okay, go ahead. As we throw this ball, he's gonna drop into his block. Go ahead, do it one more time. Okay? And so what he's trying to do is he's trying to maintain his chest position as he falls into the block. Or he's gonna throw him a block. So we're just mixing up in between those two, so he's got to actually do it like in a game. And then the last one we'll do, let's do one more, let's do block and recover. So block and recover is going to be a game-like drill. Okay, so now we're putting everything together. Go ahead. He's going to block this, and then he's going to recover and get ready to throw to a base. They're just going to transfer, right? Let's go no feet. Let's go no feet. Yep. So we can progress this and just go. It's been a tough day for catchers, apparently. We can go no feet, work on our transfers. Okay? And then from this same position, now we can go feet. Go ahead and go feet, guys. And just work on taking this to their ear. Just like that. Coach Hartley, could you grab that? He's going to move his feet to the other side of the tee, right? So this is working on alignment. This is working on quickness. Go ahead. We can do this with the ball in his glove. We can also do this from a throwing position as well, right? So they can kind of progress. Let's get him a ball. Right? So I can just kind of simulate pitch, right? One more time. So he can work transfer, right, to his ear. And then I can also do one where I throw him a ball, and then he can work on this as well, right? So it's just going to look like that, okay? So we can do this into a net. We can do this to players, right? We can work on tags.